Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into what's basically a civil war brewing in the world of AI art. And it's a battle that really comes down to just three things: speed, quality, and freedom. So let me ask you this: speed, quality, or freedom? Pick two. And this isn't just some hypothetical question. It's the real-world dilemma at the very heart of creating images with AI right now. See, the problem is you really can't have it all. And the two you choose to prioritize, well, that pretty much decides which side of this growing conflict you're on. All right, so here's the game plan. First, we're going to unpack this whole trilemma and figure out what freedom even means here. Then, we'll meet the two main challengers that represent these totally different philosophies. After that, we'll hear directly from the community, the folks actually in the trenches. Then, we'll walk through a little framework to help you choose the right tool for you. And finally, we'll zoom out and look at what this whole fight means for the future of creativity itself. Okay, so before we really get into the fight, we need to get on the same page with the terminology. We all get what speed and quality are, but what about freedom? What does that actually mean when we talk about unrestricted AI? First off, let's be super clear. Unrestricted does not mean it's some kind of lawless Wild West. We're not talking about tools that allow illegal content. What it really means is dialing back the heavy-handed automated corporate filters. It's about giving artists the room to create, fantasy art that might be violent, or horror illustrations, or even just historically accurate battle scenes without some algorithm telling them it's too controversial. So why do all the big players lock everything down so tight? Well, it really boils down to managing corporate risk. They're trying to avoid getting sued for what users create. They want to keep their brand squeaky clean for corporate partners. They're filtering for genuinely harmful stuff, and they're desperately trying to stay out of messy copyright fights. So it's really less about artistic principles and a whole lot more about playing it safe. And that corporate need for safety, well, it sets the stage perfectly for our two main challengers. In one corner, you've got Z-Image Turbo, and in the other, Flux 2. And these aren't just two random pieces of software. They are two completely different visions for what AI creativity should be. And wow, the difference is just night and day. On one side, Z-Image Turbo is the rebel. It's ridiculously fast, we're talking seconds for an image, it's uncensored, and it's built to run on the kind of graphics cards that normal people and hobbyists actually own. Then you've got Flux 2, the incumbent. It's painfully slow, heavily censored for safety, and it needs enterprise-level hardware that most of us could only dream of affording. One is for the community, the other is for the corporation. Even their release strategies show this divide. As one user pointed out, Z-Image did something kind of brilliant. They released their fast, zippy turbo model first, and the community just went wild with excitement, immediately wondering how good the full-power base model would be. It built this incredible organic hype from the bottom up. So what do the people who are actually using these tools think? Well, the community has been loud, to say the least, and the battle lines are drawn pretty darn clearly. Okay, so yeah, the community is not holding back. This comment, while obviously a bit over the top, really gets to the emotional heart of this debate. People are starting to see this as a choice about their identity. Are you a free-thinking creator who pushes boundaries, or are you just accepting the limits that are handed down to you? It's turned into a real cultural statement. And here's the other side of that. Another user points out that the very thing the community hates about Flux, all its safety filters, is exactly what makes it so attractive to corporate clients. See, businesses don't want risk. They want a predictable, safe tool that they can use without worrying about scandals or lawsuits. Flux was literally built for them. And this is so important. This whole debate goes way beyond just not safe for work stuff. As this user argues, it's about the chilling effect of censorship. When you teach a model to avoid all nudity just to block porn, you also stop it from being able to generate classical art, Renaissance paintings, anything that explores the human form. You're basically erasing a huge chunk of art history from the AI's vocabulary. And let's not forget about the hardware. This is a massive issue of accessibility. Someone with a top-tier RTX 4090 says Z-Image spits out a picture in 7 seconds. That same user says Flux 2 takes 3 minutes. Other people are saying that even a modest 3060 card can run Z-Image just fine, but Flux 2, forget about it. It basically has a paywall of thousands of dollars in hardware, locking out the very community that actually pushes this tech forward. All right, so you've got the fast, freewheeling rebel versus the slow, safe corporate giant. With the options being so different, how in the world do you pick the right tool for what you're trying to do? Honestly, the choice really boils down to one simple question. Who are you as a creator? Are you a fast, flexible innovator who needs speed and freedom to just experiment and play? Or are you a professional working on a project where brand safety and quality are everything, no matter how long it takes? Your answer to that question pretty much points you to your tool. Let's make it even more practical. Just ask yourself these 4 things. 1. What are you making? Is it for you or is it for a client like a bank? 2. What's your setup? A gaming PC at home or a server farm at work? 3. How much freedom do you really need? And 4. How patient are you? Do you need results now or can you wait a few minutes? Your answers here will make the choice crystal clear. So for our last section, let's zoom all the way out. Because this whole thing isn't really just about ZenaImage versus Flux 2. This is just one battle in a much, much larger war for the future of AI. At the end of the day, what we are watching is a battle for the soul of creative AI. Is the future going to be defined by open, accessible, community-driven tools that empower all of us? Or is it going to be dominated by closed-off, heavily controlled services that are built to protect corporate interests? The winner of this fight could very well set the tone for everything that comes next. And that leaves us with this final, massive question. As these AI tools get more and more powerful and woven into our daily lives, which path are we going to go down? Open freedom or corporate control? There is no easy answer. But every single time a creator picks a tool, every time a developer releases a new model, they're casting a vote. The future really isn't written yet,